All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Right. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Right. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world calls God. Yahweh Shai being the name of his beloved Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Right. This is the brother Yair Radha, the WFI Indiana camp, coming at y'all with a quick cold cut through the spirit. Right. Just going into, as you can see, the title, right, is Dwade calls out Black community for not supporting, right, the Lgbtq community, right? So like, yeah. Okay, Con. Right, so Dwade, right, calls out Black community for not supporting, right, the LGBTQ community, all right, Wicked Pride Month, and more. All right, so these are the things that's going on in the world right now, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna play a little bit. I'm gonna play a little bit of the of this clip. Right, it was so recently, Dwade, he did a sit down interview with Shannon Sharp, right, two Israelite men, and he asked him a multitude of questions, but what I want to hone in on is how he answered and how the conversation went when he was asked about his son, right? I forget what his son name is, but his son, right? Zion, right? Zion, that's his name, right? And shalom, shalom to everybody, right? Tuning in through the spirit. All right, so like you, brothers and sisters, gonna have to bear with me. This is my first time using StreamYard, so through the spirit, Lord willing, we gonna get through this through the spirit, right? So, but yeah, so we're gonna dive into basically how he went about it, how he answered these different things that were said. We're gonna go through the precepts, you understand, and put these things together because it's a lot of madness going on, man. And if you know or been following what's going on with him and his family situation with his son, you know he is his son is and throughout this we're gonna use different code words, right? We're gonna use different code words instead of saying, you know, just for the sake of, you know, not trying to get the channel banned or anything like that, but we're gonna use words like transformer, okay, Lgbtq community, and many others, right? So just stay with me and try to put two and two together through the spirit so we can get through this without Esau trying to overthrow something. You understand? So Salaki, I'm trying to get this video pulled up. Bear with me. I'm trying to share my screen. Salakia. Okay. All right, let me know if y'all can see my screen or not. All right. Baba Gasha. I don't really know. Okay, I should be able to see it. Okay, Con. Yeah, I should be able to see it. All right, so this is the video right here. All right, and like I said, we going I didn't watch everything. As far as like I didn't watch the whole segment of when he was going into the ins and outs about his son, but I watched the beginning, middle part of it. But I didn't watch the rest of it. So we're gonna go through this, right? See what's said, right? Pull the precepts, right? See how this go through the spirit. All right, so this is him and Shannon Sharp having a conversation with each other about his son. All right, and we gonna call him, and we gonna call him by his real name. All right, and we're gonna call him by how he was born, which is a man. All right, not her and whatever he changed his name to now. All right, so Baba Gashan in the chat, let me know if y'all can hear this as well. Let me know if y'all can hear the sound.
Like winners. Right. And in the midst of it, we all have our feelings about how and why, because we're human. But if I'm looking at it,
right, can y'all hear the screen? Baba Gashan, let me know if y'all can hear the video. Right, or if y'all can't hear it, let me know. Right, but for now, I'm gonna play it.
From his standpoint, I'm like, oh, I see you. Right. You up here. We all were down here looking up. Like, it's not my journey.
To be a doctor, lawyer, yada yada yada. To be a doctor, lawyer, yada yada yada.
He of Cleveland that he wanted to
idea what you think your daughter was going to be, or what you.
If I'm looking at it from his standpoint, I'm like, oh,
all right,
I see you. Right. You up here. And we all were down here looking up. Like, bro, you shouldn't do that.
Right. Dwade, I think you're a phenomenal basketball player. You've accomplished a lot.
So it's echoing.
But I think your greatest accomplishment.
It's echoing. All right, hold on. Let's see something. Bear with me, family. Like I said, it's my first time. All right. Lord willing, it should be good now. All right, Lord willing, it should be good.
Is the way you've embraced your child wanting to transition.
Basketball. Right. That's when you was like, okay. He implemented I promise.
Right.
He implemented the
right. So they talking about LeBron and all that right now, but they geared a transition into
Cleveland that he wanted them to feel like winners.
Right.
And in the midst of it, we all have our feelings about how and why, because we're human. But if I'm looking at it from his standpoint, I'm like, oh, I see you.
Right.
You up here. We all were down here looking up. Like, bro, you shouldn't do that.
Right. Dwade, I think you're a phenomenal basketball player. You've accomplished a lot. But I think your greatest accomplishment is the way you've embraced your child wanting to transition. That's not an easy thing to do, because we all have. If you have a daughter, you have a
and see that right off the bat, that's madness. So in America, in Babylon the Great, it's an accomplishment to accept your son to want to be a transformer. That's a great accomplishment in the minds of Jake and Eve now. That to accept something that the Most High God doesn't accept, that's a great accomplishment. That's why this place, right? Let me get this real quick. Right, real quick. Right, this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 5 and verse 2. It says, I'm gonna start at verse 1. Right, this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Right, we're entering into those days now, man, of people being taken in great number, with multiple wars going on throughout the earth. You understand? You still got Israel and Palestine over there going at it with each other, right? Every now and then, if I'm not mistaken, it's either Iraq or Iran, one of those, they end up trying to force their hand into the situation when it comes to those the land of Israel over there as well, right? And we can't forget about Russia and Ukraine right now. And then you got many other wars brewing up, just stirring the pot that's eventually going to explode. You understand? All throughout the earth as well. Right? But people are being taken in great numbers right now as we speak, whether that be through pestilence, through war, through evil spirits that are upon the face of the earth taking lives. Right? But this is the point that I want in verse 2. It says, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago, man. So as time goes on, guess what? Iniquity wax stronger and stronger. It continues to grow. People get more wicked. The things that you see is more wicked. It's right out there now. It's right out there in front of your face. They talk about it. They open it. They try to force it on the kids. They put it in the school systems. It's a video going around of a family, and they CPS came and took their son, if I'm not mistaken, because the parents didn't allow the son to go to school to learn about how to be a transformer. So CPS came and took him away from the family, man. So this is Babylon the Great, right? This is the land of confusion. And that's exactly what's being put forth, you understand, upon the face of the earth now. All right, let me get another one. And the Lord told us about these different things. The Lord told us that iniquity, you understand, would increase. All right, this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 14. All right, in verse 16, it says, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. You see that? So during the time of Ezra, man, there was evils upon the face of the earth. All right, during the time, there's always been evils upon the face of the earth. But hey, the Lord told Ezra, hey, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna continue to get worse and worse and worse and worse. Hey, when I was a kid, man, you didn't just have. There was no, if I'm not mistaken, right? Hey, not even if I'm mistaken, it wasn't. Hey, when I was a kid, there was no such thing as a transformer. That wasn't really a thing like that. Or at least we wasn't exposed to it. All right. Hey, when I was a kid, hey, you was in the closet. Hey, these people, they wasn't bold to be how they are now. There wasn't a movement. There was no LMNOP community movement, man, when I was younger, man. But now you see, as time continues to go on, hey, these things is just waxing worse and worse, right? Let me get one more. All right. This is the book of 2nd Esdras. I want 2nd Esdras chapter 1 and verse 5. Right? This is the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 1 and verse 5. It says, go thy way and shew my people their sinful deeds and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me, that they may tell their children's children. Right? So it's our job to go out and declare the things that we see and show our people their transgressions, man. Tell them where they're going off. To the kids where they're going off. To the young men where they're going off. To the older men where they're going off. You understand? It says, because it says, because the sins of their fathers are increased in them, for they have forgotten me and have offered unto strange gods, man. So, hey, the sins of our fathers are increased in us on the earth, man. And that's what you see playing out right before you every day, man. That's what you see. All right, so we're going to get back into the video. Man, I don't know how long this is going to be, but as far as this coca, but man, the first sentence, it's his greatest accomplishment was, man, I'm going to play that back just a little bit. That was madness. That was madness, right? And then we're going to let it play.
Your child won't in transition. That's not an easy thing to do because we all have. If you have a daughter, you have an idea of what you think your daughter is going to be or what you want her to become. If you have a son, you have an idea of what you want. Especially if you play sports, I want my son to play sports. He's a doctor. If I'm a doctor, I want my son to be a doctor, lawyer, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But for you to embrace Zaya, to embrace her journey, how did you come? Because obviously you had to sit down and you had a conversation. She comes to you and she sits down and she says, "Dad, this is how I'm feeling. This is how I'm thinking." And you say what?
Well,
it's not my journey.
It's not my journey.
I'm not
that selfish.
I can't make
your journey in your life about me.
Right? Like I just can't do that.
Like I just can't do that.
Right.
Like
yes.
And
I was telling someone.
And Salakia, he talking about because he's not selfish, right? Because he don't want to make his life, his son's life, about him. Hey, you supposed to make it about the Lord, man. You supposed to make that child's life like the Lord's, man, and have him follow and have your children follow in the ways of the Lord, man. We understand. You don't want to try to force your kids to play football, about whatever. But hey, you got to bring them up in the ways of the Lord, man. Not say, oh no, I'ma just let them do that. No, that's off, man, and that's wicked. And as we continue to watch this, you're gonna see now he's reaping the consequences of basically turning the blind eye from it. You understand? Or quote unquote accepting it. Right?
I want to say today.
When
Zaya was born, she was born May 29th. Which is Carmelo's birthday. Right.
Happy belated birthday
to my brother.
Toast to my brother on his
retirement, by the way. Toast him
this right here.
Listen, about his fire. So
if y'all
go look at it,
I have
Zaya.
LeBron has Bryce.
Melo has Kaya.
All within about
a 2-3 week span.
Mm-hmm. All like kids on grow hooping together.
Oh, we on.
Yeah.
Well, we gonna have 3, baby.
Yeah.
We on.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had a boy. I had another boy. That was my second boy in a row. I'm like, okay, this is what we do. We're hooping family, and
see what happens when
you start making plans for other people out.
Right. That's her journey. But you played it out.
Oh, you couldn't tell me we weren't gonna build a circuit right now, baby. We hooping. We got Wade in the bag. We got the wear Wade's on. We doing it too.
Right.
Then I got to meet
my child.
And
a lot of people like to talk about Zaya's transition. Zaya hasn't transitioned into anything. But a kid. And now a young going into young adult. I've watched her go through life. There hasn't been no transition for us. It's been a transition for the world.
And that's mad. He talking about it hasn't been a transition. Right? It hasn't been a transition for him. Talking about it's still the same. It's saying nothing changed. He literally changed his gender. What he identifies as, how he carries himself. You understand? The things that he liked literally changed right before his eyes. But he gonna sit there and say, hey, nothing's changed. It's a transition to the world, but not to him.
But for us,
I see the same kid that I've seen since May 29th.
Cap.
2007.
Right.
Nothing has changed.
Did you know were there signs?
Yeah.
Because boys can play with trucks, girls play with dogs.
Yeah.
Girls dress up, boys do this. So you saw signs at a very early age that he's not like what I'm thinking a boy should be, or what I was when I was that age.
Yeah, I mean, think about this. I mean, you in the locker room, I'm in the locker room, right? We ignorant. I'm gonna say ignorant. And so I come from a culture of men throwing around the F word.
Yes,
throwing around the gay word.
Yes.
Just like it's high. Bye. Right? Just throwing it around.
Right.
And so I have a child at home that we're basketball, baseball, we doing what you do.
Right.
Hey, let's play this. Have a child at home. It's like, I don't want that. I want to take that. I want to take dance. Okay, well, let's go to dance. I have a child at home. When I come home, she got the shirt wrapped around her head. It's like long hair.
Right then and there, he should have nipped that in the bud, man. He should have got control of the situation right then and there. Right? You come home, you're talking about he got a whatever, something around his head, pretending that it's here. Right now, we understand foolishness is bound in the heart of a child and so on and so forth, but he knew what was going on. He's telling you the signs now. He knew what was going on. Right then and there, hey, he should have nipped that stuff in the bud, man. All right. But let's keep listening, right? Then we're gonna get some. Precepts.
I got a child at home that I'm watching wear certain things that's different than what I would buy for my son.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so this is at 3 years old. So I'm in my home. My wife and I, we have a conversation about it. And for me, instead of walking in and saying, "Hey, stop that shit, cut that shit," like people try to do, they try to stop you when you're doing something for you that they don't like, right? So instead of me walking in the room and saying, "Stop that shit," it was my job to sit back and say, "Okay, let's have a conversation and see where this goes." And so my first conversation with her was about, hey, understanding what you like to wear and how you like to be in the house.
Right.
Outside of this house, they're not ready for that.
And see, I want to touch on that, right? And we're gonna get a couple precepts, right? I'm gonna play that one more. Time.
For me, instead of walking in and saying, "Hey, stop that shit, cut that shit," like people try to do, they try to stop you when you're doing something for you that they don't like, right? So
and that's exactly what he should have did. Right? That's exactly what should have happened. You understand? In that moment, when he understood, right, being a father, being a man of the household, being a care and protector, you understand? At that point, that's exactly what he should have did. What he's saying that he didn't do or shouldn't do is exactly what he should have did. Right? Let me this precept real quick. Right. Actually, let me get this in the book of Proverbs real quick. Right. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 23 and verse 14. It says, "Thou shalt beat him with the rod, thou shalt deliver," "thou shalt beat him with the rod and shalt deliver his soul from hell. My son, if thine heart be wise, my heart shall rejoice." Right? So I'm going to start at 13. I'm going to read 13 and 14. Right? This is Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 13. It says, "Withhold not correction from the child." So the scriptures, the Lord tell you not to withhold correction from a child. You understand? Dwayne Wade did the exact opposite of what the scriptures tell you to do. Right? It said, "Withhold not correction from a child." Right then and there, hey, he should have corrected his son, man, and put him on the right path. You understand? Right? It says, "Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die." Hey, he wasn't gonna die, man. You understand? Now, we're not saying that you gotta beat him or whatever the case may be. Hey, well, however you do, that's what you do as far as disciplining your children. But there's ways that it could have been handled. You understand? Without saying, "Oh, let me just let it play out. Let me see what happens." No, you've seen enough. You've seen enough. You see where it's going. You see where it's headed. Right then and there, hey, you gotta nip all that in the bud, man. You can't let that continue on and go any further. You gotta have that talk with him along with prayer, fasting, reading the scriptures. You understand? Amongst other things as well, maybe, and try to break that stronghold, man, immediately. Right? So I'm gonna read that one more time, right? This is Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 13. It says, withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and thou shalt deliver his soul from hell. Right? So when you do that, hey, you helping him in the long run. You understand? All right, so let's keep playing this.
So instead of me walking in the room saying, stop that shit, it was my job to sit back and say, okay, let's have a conversation with Zion. Let's see where this goes.
Right.
And so my first conversation with her was about, hey, understanding what you like to wear and how you like to be in the house.
Right.
Outside of this house, they're not ready for that.
Right.
Right. I don't even know if we were ready for that.
Right.
And so we slowly just let her be who she wanted to be in our home.
Is that your first wife or this with Gabby?
This is with Gabby.
Okay.
Be who you want to be in our home, and we're gonna watch and we're gonna learn along this journey. Because at that moment, I think, you know, and the thing that's a blessing in my life is that I got with my wife at the time I got my wife, because it exposed me to the world.
Right.
It exposed me.
And see, that's madness, right? And not to mention, hey, his first wife, she doesn't condone what's going on at all, right? She's hot. She hot about the situation that's going on with her son, man. And her dad, which is Dwayne Wade, or it's like her husband, right? Which is Dwayne Wade, or ex-husband, right? Whatever the case may be. In worldly terms, that's still a husband regardless. But she's mad about how he handled the situation, allowing their son Zion to continue in that space. So you got a household divided against itself. And they'll talk about it as the interview goes on. But, you know, hey, the mother she didn't condone that. You understand? That's not what she wanted for her son. And then on the other hand, you got Dwade talking about, oh, let's have a talk. And, oh, no, I'm not going to stop. I can't. This is your lot. And all this other stuff, man. Then you got Gabrielle Union, right? And if you don't know about Gabrielle Union, hey, do your research, all right? Do your research. That's all I'm going to say, right? Wicked. And notice how he said, hey, when she came into his life, he got exposed to a lot of different things. And that helped him. When in reality, little do we know, that actually hurt him, man. Right? Let me bring this precept out, though. Right? It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 15. Right? This is Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 15. It says, the rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother shame. You see that? So a child left to themselves, and they'll bring their mother shame, man. Bring their father shame. Why? Because they fending for themselves mentally and spiritually. And that's exactly while being influenced by the things of the world, which is already wicked. Not to mention, you got Gabrielle Union in their ear. You got Dwade in their ear. So this child was surrounded at an early age. Right, in other interviews and different things like that, you hear about he's seeing the first signs at like 3 years old about his son. Right, but you know, that's a recipe for disaster at the end of the day. It's important that they should have corrected that at an early age, and it ain't always about you know, putting so-called hands and feet, you know, on your child. Hey, it's a lot of prayer. That's a strong spirit, man. That's a strong demon. That's not a regular, you know, I mean, they all, you know, demons at the end of the day, but that's not just something you just, you know, snap your fingers and you know, you say one prayer and you done. You know, like that's a heavy spirit, man. It's a heavy demon. Stuff like that requires a heavy prayer and fasting, man. Right? Didn't the Lord say that? Right? Real quick. All right, let's go to the book of Matthew. All right, chapter 17. And $19. Right? This is the book of Matthew, chapter 17 and verse 19. And it reads, "Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, Why could we not cast him out? And Yahushua said unto them, Because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you." Right, here's the point. Verse 21, "Howbeit this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting." So there's some things that you're going to deal with, you understand, in this life that, it can only be removed by prayer and fasting. All right. And a spirit like that, like how his son is dealing with, that's a lot prayer and fasting. You understand? And washing of the word that goes in with it. All right. Keep going.
Or certain things.
That's different than what I would buy for my son. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so
this is at
3 years old. So I'm in my home. My wife and I, we have a conversation about it.
Right.
And for me, instead of walking in and saying, "Hey, stop that shit, cut that shit," like people try to do, they try to stop you when you're doing something for you that they don't like. Right. So instead of me walking in the room, say, "You stop that shit," it was my job to sit back and say, "Okay, let's have a conversation with her and let's see where this goes." And so my first conversation with her was about, hey, understanding what you like to wear and how you like to be in the house.
Right.
Outside of this house, they're not ready for that.
Right.
I don't even know if we were ready for that.
Right.
And so we slowly just let her be who she wanted to be in our home.
Is that your first wife or this with Gad?
This is with Gad.
Okay.
Be who you want to be in our home.
We're gonna watch and we're gonna learn because along this journey. Because at that moment, I think and
now what do you mean you're gonna watch and learn? We're in the Bible. Do it tell you to watch and learn from your sodomite son? That's not in the scriptures, man. Right? Let me get this precept, because this is madness. This is off. All right, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. This what you see now is everything that the scriptures tell you to do concerning certain situations and dealing with your child and so on and so forth. Based off of the results, as well as what he's speaking out of his own mouth about how he dealt and handled the situation, he's doing everything the opposite. Literally. He's literally doing everything the opposite of what the scriptures tell you to do. Right? Let me get this. Right? This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6. And I'm going to start at verse 6, right? This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 6. It says, "And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart," meaning your mind, right? It says, "And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house." Talking about, and Dwade talking about, you can, if you're going to be like that, do that, be like that, but do it in the house. Hey, the Lord said, and you got to teach them about these laws, statutes, and commandments diligently in your house. How you gonna be teaching these things in your house while letting your son be a sodomite? Reading on, it says, and thou shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes, meaning they'll just always be with you. They'll be in your hand as your strength. They'll be on your mind, right? Or they'll be on your head like a frontlet. Not an actual frontlet like how the so-called, like how Amalek wear. You understand? But they just mean that they constantly on your mind, right? Your tongue is constantly with talk of the scriptures. Your mind is meditating on the words of the Lord constantly, so on and so forth. You understand? It says, Salakian, as frontlets between thine eyes, and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. You understand? Point is, hey, you're supposed to teach your children the laws, statutes, and commandments and the ways of the Lord and how to conduct ourselves concerning these things amongst these other nations. Not let them teach you about sodomy. Talking about, oh, we sat back and we learned from. That's madness. That's off. Right, we're gonna keep going on.
The thing that's a blessing in my life is that I got with my wife at the time I got with my wife, because it exposed me to the world. It exposed me to friends. I have some of my best friends are Jason and Adair. Everybody knows he's my stylist. Jason, his husband is Adair. Got a chance to be exposed to them early, and we all have our thoughts about like how we perceive people who are gay, who are man and man. If it's woman and woman, we like that, but if it's man and man, we have our perception. So
the Lord despises both. This ain't the world where you see two women kissing each other and whatever. No, this is off. That's off, as well as man being with man is off, man. According to who? According to the Most High God, according to your Maker. All right, let's get that real quick. Right in the book of Leviticus. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 15. Right? Or I'm going to start at 13. God, this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 13. It says, if a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. So, in the ancient world, it was OVA. Meaning what? It was a rap. All right, you was getting put to death, man, for this in the ancient world. Now, guess what? These things are being allowed. These things are not only being allowed, but they're being promoted. Not only are they being allowed and promoted, but they're being pushed upon who specifically? Our communities. The so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Why? Because they understand that what? And there's many reasons, but Esau, they understand something. They don't just use one way to try to Esau just don't use one way to try to stop us from multiplying. I'll put it like that. They don't just come up with one way and just say, yeah, we're gonna start shooting, shooting people in the streets, police brutality, and so on and so on. That's not the only way, man. They do it through foods, pestilences, these what is it called? What they call abortion clinics, as well as what? Through sodomy. Because if a woman is with a woman, what does that mean? They can't procreate. If a man is with a man, what does that mean? They can't procreate. So the more sodomy that's in particular communities and nations, the less procreating you're going to have. Why? Because I mean, ultimately, if you really want to be honest, ultimately, that's if you a sodomite, you hate your own people, right? Straight up, you don't love you can't say that you love your people and you're a sodomite. Because if you loved your people, you would be trying to figure out ways to, one, help your nation, right? Obviously follow the Most High God, but create more of your people, more of your nation. That's what that was the first commandment the Lord gave to us, was to be fruitful and multiply. You can't do that being a sodomite. You actually, I mean, you creating genocide against the people, basically, right? So I'm gonna read that one more time, right? This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 13. It says, if a man also lie with mankind as he lay with woman, both of them have committed an abomination, and they shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Right? Straight like that. Now we can read on. Or Salakia. Continue on.
I got a chance to spend time with him, be around him, a vacation with him, all this and that. I'm like, what? This perception that I had,
right.
It's not even a question in my mind. Mm-hmm. Those are my friends.
Right.
I don't look.
And Salakia, he talking about I'm about to go back just a little bit. Right. I'm trying not to interrupt in close spaces, at least in close time gaps, as much as possible. I'm trying to let a good amount play and then talk about these different things. But he talking about how he got his best friends is sodomites. It's off.
Doing something
that they don't like. For you that they don't like. Right. So instead of me in the room say, stop that shit. It was my job to sit back and say, okay. Let's have a conversation with Zion and let's see what it's going. So my first conversation with her was about, hey, understanding what you like to wear and how you like to be in the house.
Right.
Outside of this house,
they're not ready for that.
Right.
I don't
even know we were ready for that.
Right.
And so
we slowly just let her be who she wanted to be in our home.
Is that your first wife or this with Gab?
This is with Gab.
Okay.
Be who you want to be in our home.
And we're gonna watch and we're gonna learn along this journey. Because at that moment, I think, and the thing that's a blessing in my life is that I got with my wife at the time. I got my wife because it exposed me to the world.
Right.
It exposed me to friends. I have some of my best friends are Jason, there.
Everybody knows he's my stylist.
Jason, his husband's a there.
Right.
I got a chance
to be exposed to them early.
And we all have our thoughts about like.
What do you mean exposed to them early?
We perceive people who
are gay,
who are
man and man.
We like that.
It was woman and woman. We like that, but if it's man and man, we have our perception.
Right.
I got a chance to spend time
with him, be around him, a vacation with him, all this and that. I'm like, what?
This perception
that I had.
Right.
It's not even a question in my mind.
Those are my friends.
Right.
I don't look at them.
I don't look at any other.
They're married.
You should. Dwayne, Lamar, Wade. Hey, you that's off. That's all. Let me get this precept, man. This is madness. You going on vacations with sodomites. Y'all doing this, y'all doing that. God knows, I don't know. You know. Now, normally, a lot of Eve, and this is madness as well, but a lot of Eve normally, they have sodomite friends, all right, from young ages, right, from about high school and up, you know, the sodomite, he be around the sisters, and they befriend them. Me personally, I've never seen another like like a I don't know, a straight man. I'm gonna just put it like that. I've never seen a straight man be best friends with a sodomite man. I've never seen that before. I put well, so like I have seen two men, one that's a sodomite, and then one that people perceived as so-called straight, right? Perceive as so-called straight men, be kind of close or befriending one another or whatever the case may be. But sooner or later, they ended up coming out the closet. All right. It is what it is. They ended up, hey, I don't know. Me, now this is me. Now y'all can say, I know. Look, I don't know no men, straight men who just best friends with sodomites just because. And they not indulging in those different things. Now, I'm not saying Dwade is, I don't know. I'm not going, bear false witness on the brother. I don't know. But it's very strange. That's all I'm going to say. Right? It's very strange, right? But this is the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 6, and verse 14. It says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. So what's the point? Why are you hanging out? This man said one, he said they his best friends. Two, he said they go out together, they hang together, they go on vacations together. Let's keep reading on, man. This is getting worse the more I play it. Right? It says, 2 Corinthians 6 and 14, it says, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness, man? So what is the point? You understand? Now, if you say you run across one, right, outside of the highways and byways, you run across one, you may have knew him, whatever the case may be, and you bringing out the precepts to him, whatever the case, you trying to bring that brother to the fold or bring that sister to the fold. Okay, that's one thing. All right. But you just hanging out with them. Y'all going jet skiing. Y'all going to private resorts. Y'all doing this. Y'all doing that. And y'all just hanging. Hey, I don't know about all that, my boy. I don't know about all that, brother. Right? Let's keep playing this though.
They love each other. Right.
They love each other. Right. They argue like we argue. All the same. Right. Nothing. So
that's their life. I ain't living nobody else's life.
So I had
see, he was getting ready to say, ain't nothing different. But he stopped this up. It's a big difference. Huge differences. He kind of caught himself though. He's getting ready to say it ain't nothing different. They argue. Hey, it's a big difference. And he know that as well. You understand? It's a big difference. A lot of differences, matter of fact.
Experience.
Right. And so in the those are my friends.
Right.
I don't look at them.
I don't look at any other.
They're married. They love each other.
Right.
They argue like we argue. All the same.
Right.
Nothing. So
that's their life. I ain't living nobody else's life.
So I had experience.
Right.
And so in the midst of that experience through the world, because I was out of my community, I was out of what my uncles and my dad and everybody they told me. I'm now looking at the world and I'm looking at my child.
And so I got a chance to watch my child 9 years before the world.
9 years before the world even heard about.
So when everyone started telling me what my child is,
when everyone started telling me what my child is, I'm like, how you
gonna?
I've been
a whole while.
I talk to my child.
And I talk to my child. Do you talk to my child? Because I do. And so I sat down and talked to my child about, as she was growing up, about the things she wanted. And I tried to make sure that the things that she wanted, what she would work hard at, was presented to her, not what I wanted.
Right.
And
that's the problem with us is we're gonna
been his whole while.
And I talk to my child. Do you talk to my child? Because I do.
Right.
It don't seem like it. And if you are, it sounds like it's a lot of bad counsel. Sound like it's a lot of bad counsel going
so
on.
I sat down and talked to
And so it sound like it's a lot of bad counsel. Talking about he talked to his child. Clearly, maybe you need to stop. Maybe through results, right? Through results, it seems like you're not a good counselor, brother Wade. Right? Seems like you're not a good counselor. Seems like you've been given very unwise counsel, much like the young men that Solomon had for consultants, right?
Talk to my child about
as she was growing up about the things she wanted, and I tried to make sure that the things that she wanted, what she would work hard at, was presented to her, not what I wanted. And that's the problem.
It should be with what the Lord wants, man. All this, what I want, what she want, what he want, what this want, all this different stuff. It should be about what the Lord want, man. That's the thing with our people, man. It's always our people so I don't even know the word for it, but our people just so they think the world revolves around. They think our people, we think everything, and people in general think everything is supposed to revolve around their feelings, their emotions, how they perceive things, how they feel as things should be. That's not how this works. It's not how it works. And anytime we did think like that as a nation, what happened? We get put into slavery, captivity. We get besieged. Pestilences come towards us. All the curses come upon us ultimately. Every time we try to do those different things, every time our people got to stop doing that, man. Let me get this precept in the book of Proverbs. All right. That's why the Lord said this, right? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. So we got to stop thinking that our ways is the best way, or our counter, or what we think or what we do is what is supposed to be, or is the best option. That's why the Lord gave us this. A guide, all right, a blueprint, laws, commandments, rules, way of living, how to conduct yourself in multiple situations. That's why we had this. One of the reasons, at least. All right, let me get that in the book of 2 Timothy. The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 16. It says, all scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction. That's the point that I want. For instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto good works. That's why it's important for our people to have these scriptures, man, and using them properly. Not having it collect dust in your house, or not having it so you can get it and twist all the scriptures in it like Christianity does. But to take heed to these instructions, right, that the Most High God has given to us through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Spirit, man. Because if he had this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, he would have went about all this completely and totally different. But because he lacked knowledge, you understand? Now what? He finds himself in the position that he's in now. Right? That's why the Lord said, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Right? So let's get back to this, right? Oh man. Damn Esau, man.
We're gonna
I would like to say this because of the NBA, because of my basketball talents, and because of all these things. I've been at home.
Wow. I talk to my child.
I talk to my child. Do you talk to my child? Because I do. And so I sat down and talked to my child about, as she was growing up, about the things she wanted. And I tried to make sure that the things that she wanted, what she would work hard at, was presented to her, not what I wanted. And that's the problem with us. Is we're gonna and I would like to say this because of the NBA, my basketball talents, and because of all these things, I've been put in a position where I actually could wait and allow my kids to grow up, and I don't have to say, hey, I need help with these bills. Hey, you got to do this. You got to be that. Because some communities, some households, they have to do this because of their circumstances. You don't have time to figure out who you want to be and what you want to do.
Right.
We had that
figured out on your time.
Figure out on your time, right? And then now you get kids who's later in their life, they didn't have with their parents early on because their parents had to make them whatever the culture was, whatever the time was. Our time was different.
Right.
So we had an opportunity to sit back and say, you know what? I don't want all my kids to be exactly the same.
Right.
Anyway, so you know what? My 3-year-old son at this time, Zion. Let me see what Zion want to do.
Right.
And slowly but surely, Zion started growing, and we started watching.
She's been unwavering.
Ain't not a second.
This is a he. Salakia, I'm getting mad. They keep addressing this. They keep addressing his damn son as a damn herd, man. Our people, man.
This is
Zion. That's why it's funny to me. Like in the world, I'm like
everybody on the outside.
Got something to say, and the inside,
we talking about school.
We talking about. Like I sit down with my child. We talk about, hey, okay, so the doctor said this. What do we got to do? Let's talk about your health. Let's talk about what the future looks like. I'm talking about real life things.
Because
everybody on the outside got a perspective.
You ain't talking about that gossip.
Because the gossip is we all the same.
Let's go into
all these communities in LA, and you're gonna see everybody's different.
Right.
Everyone lives different. Everyone is different. Everyone loves different.
Right.
So
because I'm an athlete,
and because I had a boy at birth,
y'all expect
that this boy's supposed to do X, Y, Z. Just like Zaire had expectations, y'all expect him to be an NBA superstar because I had him, and blah blah blah. So everyone else on the outside have the expectations of my family and my kids. How are you gonna have expectations of my family and my kids when I'm still learning? I'm still
trying to figure it out.
I'm trying to figure it out.
At least the lowest expectation should be he be a straight man, not born a boy turned transformer.
Grew up in this
environment.
Right.
So let me check myself.
Right.
So let me check myself, because if I make it about me, I'm gonna have a kid that's gonna go through life, that's gonna be miserable, that's gonna go through life. I think the statistics on kids, especially in the transgender community, when it comes to suicide, is very high.
Correct.
Right? When you're not seen,
Right.
When you're not seen
just as a person who get up every day and work hard and grind, you got a problem with it.
Right. You got a
problem when no one sees you. So if I got a kid in my house that I can't see, and I don't take time to look at and see,
then this kid
is going to feel unwanted from the father who's
you guys know my
mother. You guys know my situation with my ex-wife is very public,
very nasty.
Very public and very nasty.
Parent in the house.
I am the parent in the house. I have to see you. I have to hear you.
Right.
My child
and so my child and I have a very.
When he's speaking about the mother of his son, his ex-wife, she's very, 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 very vocal when it comes to not wanting her son to become a transformer. She's been very, very vocal on that. If I'm not mistaken, they even went to trial. If I'm not mistaken, they took it to trial, all type of different things. She tried to get before she tried to get custody of him. of the kids, as the recent one, they was going to trial, if I'm not mistaken, and y'all can look this up on your own. I don't know every detail and all the ins and outs, but they went to trial for their son, Zion, to, I'm getting mad even calling this man Zion, but dang, so like it's about to escape me. Oh yeah, they went to trial to so the mother was against having her son turn into a transformer. And when I say transform, I mean literally like transform his body. And basically the parents, Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle, they was fighting against that, right? So they wanted their son to have the freedom to be able to do as he pleased. The mother of his child, his ex-wife, was fighting against that. So at least she got her head on straight when it comes to that aspect of it, and not wanting to have her watch her son transform and transition right before her eyes. On one hand, you got Dwayne Wade talking about he hasn't transitioned or transformed, when clearly I don't know what he's looking at. He might be under mind control. He just might. I don't know. He might. I don't know. Or he could just be straight up just pure madness. But so that's the situation that's going on with him and his wife. It's still ongoing. With many other different things, she keep making a lot of stuff public as far as speaking out against it, man. As she should. As she should. Hey, in the ancient world, hey, he would have been put to death. Would have been put to death. Right?
Very open, honest, straightforward, right between the eyes relationship about the journey, who you are, what you're experiencing, because I don't know.
Right.
Because I've never experienced that. And it was never known to me that it was, hey,
it was okay.
It was never presented to me. And so being in the position that I'm in as a father, it's my job to be able to say, okay, everybody, I don't want y'all commenting on my life. I don't want y'all commenting on my daughter's gender, my daughter's sexuality. That's not what I want. But because we're public figures, and because I know it's other kids in the world like Zion, there's other dads in the world like me, and it will be forever, because we all are not the same.
It won't be forever, because the Lord gonna come back and shut all that shit down. Excuse my language. The Lord is going to just straight up, all sodomites are going to get put in the dirt, right? Everybody, along with the other multitudes of nations and people as well. If his son don't repent, and look, hey, his son can still repent. All right, his son can still repent. Shalom, shalom. Can Israel hear me still? Can Israel hear me now? All right, let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me or not, Baba Kasha. All right, let me know in the chat, Baba Kasha, if y'all can hear me. Okay. So yeah, Satan tried to come. Satan tried to come and take away the word. But all right, we back. All right. All praise to the Most High. All praises. Right now, let me see if I gotta go back through here and add this back. 1 second. All right, all praise to the Most High. All praise. All right, so we back in this thing through the Spirit. All praise to the Most High. Satan tried to come and take the word away, but we should be Salakia. We should be back.
okay.
Lord willing, we're gonna try to get through this. All right. Try to do this real quick. What is good? If Lord willing, I'll make a part. I'll make a part 2. We'll do it through the